Hello and welcome. Buckle up wherever you're watching us right around Australia for round 7 of the World Formula One Championship tonight, coming to you from Magny-Cours, France. And Alan Jones, we've had a lot of rain in qualifying, a lot of rain earlier this morning, but conditions at the moment are pretty dry, as you can see. So that weather has blown away at the moment, and that is good news, but it is predicted it may rain during the race. They could liven things up a bit.
It certainly could, and it's most unusual because Magny-Cours this time of the year is normally stinking hot. It's almost in the middle of France, and it's a real heat bowl, and it is very out of character to have this sort of weather. But very wet practice, very wet warm-up, but obviously a dry race, so it should make for a very interesting race.
No doubt about that. Some surprises too, the way the grid is formed up. Let's have a look at the conditions of practice. They were really bad when they had to qualify. It was a case of giving the teams a set of the wettest wets you could muster. Parts of the circuit looked better suited for power boating. Fast Eddie Irvine gave the Ferrari as much welly as he dared as he tiptoed through the S's. Damon Hill, competing in probably his last French Grand Prix, was steady but slow. Whilst the two top dogs, Schumacher for Ferrari and Hakkinen McLaren, pushed hard for time. But it was Rubens Barrichello who turned it on. The Stewart Ford splashed around far quicker than anyone, the Brazilian winning the pole. John Alesi proved his big heart, qualifying second after his huge shunt the day before. In the closing stages, Michael Schumacher, the acknowledged rainmaster, took a handful of brave pills and almost didn't get away with it.
Well, as you can see, pretty trying conditions there. And Barrichello, second time in his racing career on pole under very similar conditions. He did the same thing at Spa. John Alesi, interestingly enough, in second spot next to him. Panis on his home track for the Prost team. David Coulthard fourth. Frentzen eighth. Michael Schumacher sixth. Fisichella, Trulli, Johnny Herbert, Zonta, good result for him. Denez Villeneuve, Wirtz, Hakkinen, Zanardi, Rolf Schumacher, Eddie Irvine. Now, Eddie Irvine was in 17th spot, and everyone after him was actually outside the 107% qualification rule, which means that if you are outside that, technically you shouldn't start. But it is up to the clerk of the course to waive that rule, which he did, because there's obviously too many competitors that were outside of it, not least of which Damon Hill. And he's allowed them now to start. So that's good, because there would have been 6 or 7 cars that wouldn't have started.
Atrocious conditions, unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, it's a pretty safe circuit. I mean, there's lots of fairly good runoff areas, and it's not a particularly fast circuit like the likes of Spa, but nevertheless.
A couple of things. I want to get through this pretty quickly tonight because the cars are just about to go out on their warm-up lap. But you've said it to me before, when you get a wet race like this, it's a chance for young talent to really display themselves.
Oh, look, when I was in a fairly uncompetitive Formula One car, I used to relish these sort of conditions because it is an opportunity to show your talent. Now, we've got Zonta, who's just come back from having a few Grand Prix off because of injury. He's now out-qualified Villeneuve. Now, that won't do him any harm at all, because it shows that he has got some driving skill. So, yeah, when the weather's like that, the young blokes really should just strap up the crutch straps a bit tighter and go for it.
We've got a lap to get through what I think is important. Damon Hill has announced his retirement at the end of the season. Says at the moment he'll go through to Japan, but if his performances don't improve, the car doesn't get any better, he's missing his family, spending too much time away, he may quit earlier.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know whether that's a little sort of a threat to Jordans to say, give me better equipment, otherwise I might leave a bit early. Very unusual to stop midway through the season. You're obviously putting your team in an awkward position. They have to go out and get a replacement driver. So it's not the sort of thing you would normally do. To me, I read into that, give me better gear, give me a better car, otherwise I might even leave before the end of the year.
You're on the board of directors for the Australian Grand Prix, a bombshell, a provisional only, I might add. Calendar for next year's championship was released last week, and as expected, Malaysia is pencilled in to kick off the new season starting late February. However, the organisers of the Australian Grand Prix believe that Australia should host the opening race. It's understood that Ron Walker is to hold urgent talks with Bernie Ecclestone.
Well, I would imagine Ron would have been on the phone pretty quick smart when that was released. Obviously, we like having the very first Grand Prix. It's a chance to see new cars, new driver combinations. I'll be surprised if we lose it, to be frank.
Ferrari not running their new engine. this week. It's due mainly to a series of failures during testing last week, but the team had hoped to use the new power plant in today's race following its success during qualifying in Canada. That's a disappointment.
It is, but Ferrari's strong point this year has been their reliability. They need to keep accruing those points. No good having a heap of horsepower if you don't finish. Ford's proved that.
British American Racing and Jordan will have V12 Honda power next season. According to the latest reports, other teams are also looking into the V12 configuration.
Yeah, V12 seems to be the go at the moment. It's a lot smoother, get a lot more horsepower, and you can obviously rev them a bit more. But yeah, they all seem to be going to the V12 configuration. Big
Big news, I guess, for Alain Prost. Peugeot is believed to be really in the balance of where they're going to go on with their all-new V10. It's on the test bench, but they may pull the plug.
I hope they don't. Alan Jenkins has joined the team. Prost is making a real good effort. If they've got a new engine, they should give it a go.
Right, let's go across now to Murray Walker. He's all set with Martin Brundle for this race. Should be a ripper.
Lights coming on one at a time, going off together to lead to a pre-programmed pause, and then the race starts. The green flag waving in the background shows that everybody's in position, and it's Magny-Cours in France. Yes! Good start by Barrichello. Good start by Barrichello. David Coulthard goes up into third place, so already he has made a position. It's Barrichello leading Alesi, leading David Coulthard, and Olivier Panis has dropped back to fourth position. Heinz-Harald Frentzen in the yellow Jordan is fifth. Barrichello leads.
I think Herbert had a very poor start. Johnny Herbert falling back through the field. What did you say? Barrichello making the perfect getaway under pressure. And that's Frentzen coming up into fourth place. So Panis really losing out on that first lap, with Schumacher already round the outside of him.
Schumacher is up to 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth position from sixth on the grid. And Eddie Irvine carving his way through the field. He's up behind Damon. There is Damon Hill. He's going well too. And
Frentzen with Michael Schumacher trying to get at the inside of him into 180. And Hakkinen also already up to, I believe, 10th place.
Mika Hakkinen flying through the field, coming up towards Imola, the right and left, and that leads into the Chateau d'Eau. The race leader, Rubens Barrichello, one lap almost completed, 71 to go, and he's got a gap between himself and, as I thought, Jean Alesi, I think, is starting to hold things up already. Across the line goes Barrichello. David Coulthard is challenging Jean Alesi, and the gap between Barrichello and Alesi is 1.1 seconds, almost 1.2. Riding with Alesi now, round the right-hander at Estoril. Building up to 190 miles an hour as you see Rubens Barrichello braking hard for Adelaide, the right-hander. And Coulthard is going through. David Coulthard takes Jean Alesi.
Yeah, Alesi may come back on the inside, but Coulthard closed the door. That's an important move for Coulthard early in the race, because his car is clearly faster than the Sauber of Alesi. And Coulthard, fastest man already in the first part of this second lap. But just a quick run through. Hill is still down in 17th place, but Hakkinen already up to 9th place.
Mika Hakkinen sailing through the field from 14th on the grid to 9th in the race. Michael Schumacher from 6th to 5th, and Eddie Irvine still down in 18th position behind Damon Hill. In fact, he's lost the place. Damon Hill's got past him, so Barrichello leads. Coulthard closing up on him. Alesi is third, Frentzen is fourth, Schumacher is fifth. Then the two Prosts of Olivier Panis and Jarno Trulli. And you have seen Mika Hakkinen go through your pictures as the race leader, Rubens Barrichello, completes his second lap. Now the gap has come down between him and the second place man, and it's now David Coulthard to 0.6 of a second.
Yes, despite overtaking Alesi on that lap, albeit relatively straightforwardly at Adelaide hairpin, Coulthard was a full 1 second faster than Barrichello, the current leader. So Coulthard's car working very, very well. The track is green. It's been washed very heavily with rain, and really the cars will be a new experience for everybody until they can get some rubber back down on the track.